The Israelite Nation Worldwide Ministries presents Friday Night Bible Study. Our Friday night Bible studies are held in the United Kingdom, Atlanta, Georgia, St. Louis, Missouri, and in the state of New Jersey. Welcome to Friday Night Bible Study.
Peace, everyone. Peace and welcome to our Friday night Bible studies. My name is Elder, and I've got Issachar, I've got Veronica, and Sean. Say hi to everyone, everybody.
Peace. How's everybody doing tonight? How are we feeling? Everybody?
Pretty good.
Yes.
Okay. Peace. Getting peace in the chat.
Awesome. What say you, Veronica? What's happening with you tonight?
Oh, it's good. Just ready to get to the lesson and learn.
So before we get there, though, let's talk about a few things. You know what time of the year it is for us?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So give me your take on what do you feel right now? How are you feeling right now? Issachar, Veronica, and of course Sean, chime in and let me know how you guys are feeling. As I know I'm feeling close to something happening. Like I'm on the crux of it. Like we're right there, almost ready for it. So what are you guys feeling?
I'm rejuvenated. I am. After the Day of Atonement, I just feel refreshed. I feel rejuvenated. I feel fire. So I'm ready.
Nice, very nice. What about you, Issachar? I know you were there at headquarters with me, and we were feeling the incense. So what's your take on what's happening?
Yeah, right after Atonement, I'm feeling inspired, I should say. I guess like pumped up, what is it? Winter is coming up, but we still have that time to still praise the God of Israel, and this is a time of remembrance, not just remembrance but praise, So I just can't wait because we still have so much to go, So yeah, I'm just feeling pumped up. I'm feeling, extra excited, and I'm ready to go.
Excellent. Sean, what's going on?
Well, I am feeling great about starting the Feast of Tabernacles and getting into this part of our celebration during this month of Ethanim. So I'm ready to go.
Awesome. As you know, our title for tonight's lesson is 40 Years of Tabernacles. Now, I'm super excited because I was with you and Issachar at headquarters, and we fasted a whole day. And of course, I was helping out with some of the incense distribution. And boy, my face, my eyes, everything, I was in smoke land, which is great, actually. I was hoping I could carry all that smell home, but hey, you know what happens? You got to take a shower the next day. But anyways, but 40 years in itself, the number 40 is a generation, as you guys know that. So we are in our bracket here, our 40 years, and it's also our 40th year of the Israelite Nation Worldwide Ministry. So this is how fitting it is that 40 years of Tabernacles since the reestablishment of this nation from our Master Teacher Elder Shadrock. So before we jump in, let me hear your take on what is tabernacles to you in your definition. We'll start off with Veronica and then go to Sean and then Issachar. And because you guys are the youngest in the nation, we'll start with you guys. So go ahead, Veronica.
Okay. The Feast of Tabernacle, to me, is remind me of remembering what the God of Israel did for my forefathers when they was in the wilderness, and how he allowed them to build a booth, if not a tent, or you could call it a tabernacle. But he allowed them to fellowship with him. And then to bring it in today's time, I have the opportunity to fellowship, to worship, to honor the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob, for what he has done for me. So that's why I see the tabernacle. I'm worshiping him for what he have already done for me and what he is doing for me and what he's going to do for me. So that's why I see it.
Nice. Sean, what's your take? Since you just started in Israel, like a reborn.
Yes. Okay, so for me, it's coming to a knowledge and understanding of what our culture is and the things that we are supposed to do to maintain the laws, the statutes, the commandments, and honor the feast days, such as this one, the Feasting of Tabernacles. The covenant was brought in and all of that. And, we were instructed to do these things. So for me, it's about learning about my own culture and understanding why I'm doing these things and honoring our God, the God of Israel, and just being obedient to his word. I know that Moses wrote this into law, but at the same time, it is under the instructions of the God of Israel. So for me, it is something that I'm getting accustomed to doing and knowing that each year at this time, I set aside the time to honor our God.
I hear Ishika, because you are not like Sean, your Auntie Sean and Auntie Veronica. You were actually immersed in it from before you were born. So you have a completely different outtake, I would think, from your aunties here. So let me hear from you, man. What's tabernacle to you?
I would have to say, for me, the tabernacles is the time of remembrance. Um, in our culture, every celebration is a time of remembrance, but this is a time of praise. Even Auntie Sean said it. This Moses had wrote it down, right, and passed it from generation to generation, and you see the beauty of that. That our culture fought to put these little things in place, right? So we don't forget them, because this is what makes us who we are. This is what makes us Israel, you know? And that's why we're so different than the other nations, because they don't celebrate how we celebrate. They don't see life how we see life. And that's just what I think tabernacles just means to me, praising and just remembrance.
I hear you. Absolutely. So listen, it's the 7th month, just to get you guys caught up on things. For those that are out there, throw your type in to say what is tabernacles to you, how you feel about tabernacles, what is a tabernacle, by the way, also. So throw that out in the chat. We can post some of those comments up. Now, we just came from fasting, and some of us can handle these things well, and some of us cannot. It's just human nature. But after that comes a feasting time. And this is where it says you have to fill up your tabernacles, and you get to have this for 7 days of filling up, not just physically, but spiritually, because this entire month is a holy month of Ethnim, and you're going to embark on filling up your tabernacles that needs to last you all the way to Abib. So this is why this time of the year is so important to us, because again, there's a lot of us that say we're heading to the dark season. And yeah, it seems that way because obviously I look outside and it's already dark. And before we even got on here, it was already dark. And the light's getting shorter, which is already is. It's starting to get colder. Things are happening. It's harvest time for many people, for people that are doing farming and whatnot. For myself, I got to take in plants that I put out in the spring, because if I don't, they're going to be subjugated to the cold temperature. So all of this is happening this time, preparing. So you got to prepare. But because we're about to embark on filling up our tabernacles, not just with physical food, but spiritual food. So this is why this is so important for us to actually know what the tabernacle is. And it was instructed for us to actually keep the Feast of Tabernacles. It's a commandment. You have no choice. You must do it. So before we get into this, though, let me read a scriptures. Let me get you guys to turn to Leviticus 23 from verse 33. Let's jump there. I'll give you guys a few seconds to jump to Leviticus 23, verse 33 to start off with. We're there?
Yeah.
All right. So here's what it says. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, again, God of Israel is speaking to Moses, not to everybody, but to Moses, one man, to take the message to the children of Israel. He says, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, the 15th day of this month, the 7th month, shall be the Feast of Tabernacles for 7 days unto the Lord. So the 7th month. So if you go by January, February, March, April, May, June, July, so we're in October. So it doesn't mean the secular 7th month, because we would have kept this in, as I said, July. But here we are in the secular month of October. So our Israelite calendar does not start in January. So just so that we can get people that are out there that are just tuning in to say, but shouldn't that have happened in July? No, not according to our Israelite calendar. We don't start in January in the dead of winter, by the way. When this, in Canada, you definitely know it's the dead of winter, because there's nothing green other than the evergreen tree, which we don't really need. So understand that we're not starting in January, but our New Year starts around March, April. So here we are 7 months later in our calendar, the Israelite calendar. And all of those have names to each month. So we're in the month of Ethanim. So it says, again, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, the 15th day of this 7th month, so that for us, shall be the Feast of Tabernacles for 7 days unto the Lord. So we have to keep a feast unto him for 7 days. We have to. It just says that. It says Moses got to go tell the people, the children of Israel, that they have to keep a feast unto me for 7 days in this month of Ethanim. We got to make sure you guys understand that it has to be in the month of Ethanim. Can't be no other month. So, and of course, sometimes our Ethanim month falls in September sometimes in October. But the only way you're going to tell these if you know how the new moon starts, that's the Sabbath. So again, if you don't know when the new moon starts, you have no clue. So I'm sorry, but you just can't be keeping it right. If you're thinking of next month, secular, or previous month, not happening. It's got to be now. Let me move on. On the first day shall be an holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work. So a holy convocation is a Sabbath, actually. And by the way, in this month of Ethanim, there are 5 Sabbaths. Just before we move on, let me hear what you guys think about having 5 Sabbaths. Fire away.
Sorry. Yeah, but for me, I would have to say it shows like just spiritual growth and like how much power we hold spiritually, you know. It's a time for forgiveness, you know, redemption, the 5 Sabbaths that we have, but it's holy days, you know, holy days to praise the God of Israel, holy days to just give thanks back to the God of Israel for what he's done to you, right? And that's also, yeah, what the tabernacle's about. It's about giving thanks to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob for what he's done for us and how he led us out of Egypt. Like it's such a blessing to be a part of this nation, I should say, you know. And even what you said to me, because I was born in this nation, so I look at life in such a spiritual perspective. I'm not trying to sound like smart or anything, but like I actually do. You know, sometimes I think, I don't know, I'm crazy or something, but I genuinely, like, I look at life in such a spiritual perspective sometimes, you know, like, I don't know, like, I see some crazy people on the street. I don't want to go off topic, but it's just like, you see so many things, and it's just like, wow, it's so spiritual. Like, you can see the spirituality, and that's how far your knowledge goes, right? That's how I guess big your mind gets. You start to just wander and you start to think, and that's why I love myself, because I just go out and I start thinking and I start just being me, you know. And yeah, but yeah, that's what for me the Sabbaths are about, just praising and remembering, you know. Yeah.
Listen, Ishikar, don't worry. You are actually a smart guy. For you to understand a Sabbath day, a new moon day, you know how
Hmm.
many people that are out there that actually have no clue? So
Yes,
yes,
sir.
you are actually smarter than a lot of people. All these people that have all these PhD degrees are on paper. So just to understand that you actually have that spiritual knowledge. Not everybody has that, even as young as you are. And there are some people that are who knows how old that have all these titles and papers that are plastered on their wall to say that they're this, they're that, they're that. But guess what? You were way, way smarter than them because they have no clue about Sabbath, new moons, and spirituality and serving the true and living God, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and God of Jacob. So that puts you leagues ahead of these people. They have nothing on you. So trust me, when you get it from your uncles and your aunties that saying you're a smart boy, trust me, you are smart. Anyone else?
But
Come
Uncle
on.
Elvis,
Yeah,
Uncle
go ahead.
Elvis, you have to understand something as well. When you look at having 5 Sabbaths in 1 month, that speaks to dedication and honoring the God of Israel, because he's such a jealous God. He wants us all for himself, number one. And number
Mhm.
two, it shows our connection to the God of Israel and to our brethren, that we are honoring and doing what the God of Israel wants us to do within the month of Ethanim, because this is a very special month, right? We
Absolutely.
had the blowing of the trumpets and all these things, the Day of Atonement, where he says, "Come before me, empty, refill," and then in the spiritual refilling, go get some physical food for 7 days. First day worship, and then the others still go ahead and eat and enjoy. And this we do to the honor and glory of our God. And it also, as I speak about our brethren, it keeps that connection with each other going, so that we remain loyal to the God of Israel, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob. And in doing these things, it increases our spirituality. It increases those things about us. So we want to stay connected and stay before our God, worshiping the one true and living God, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob. That's how I see it.
Absolutely,
Agree.
Scott,
I do
man.
agree. I agree with that 100%. Based on what Sean was just saying, it made me think about that the gates will open, that we can go directly to the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob. We can go directly there. We can just pour our heart out. We can be open. We can be just naked before him and just tell him, what's going on or what we need. If not to just worship him, to just honor him, to just thank him, to just be appreciative of what we of what we already have. And then like I say, just believing him to bless us with much more. But my thing is just to have a heart of a gratitude that I have the privilege to go boldly to the God of Israel myself. I don't need a middle person. I can go to him myself and just humble myself and talk to him, because why, he's my father. I'm his daughter. Not only I'm his daughter, I'm his baptized daughter, Israelite baptized daughter. So, like I say, I know he hears me. You know what I'm saying? I know he's going to answer me, because why? He is my father. I'm talking directly to him. I'm worshiping him. I'm honoring him. I reverence him. I'm loving on him because what he has done for me and what he has delivered me from. But what he has brought me to the house of Israel, he brought me to the truth. You know what I'm saying? So that's the reason I'm so grateful. That's the reason I'm so appreciative, because what he have done for me, he selected me out of millions of people. He picked me to be his daughter. So like I say, I see that I'm going directly to him to let him know I honor you, Father. I am so grateful. So that's why I see it.
Veronica, listen, it's not millions. Let me correct you. It's billions, not millions. No, no, no. Then you're talking just one country. If it's just million, we're talking the entire planet. That's billions of people he's chosen. And again, listen, yes, he actually hears you on those days. He says his gates are open to your prayers. So it's not like there's a in between person taking the message. It's direct. It's like me and you right now talking to each other. It's that type of communication. So yeah, you get 5 chances in this month to do that. So for you people that are out there, you got 2 more if you didn't get any yet to get it in, which is for us tomorrow, the first night of feasting in the Feast of Tabernacles. 7 days, can you imagine? But tomorrow is also a Sabbath day also. So yeah, please take advantage. Let me finish. Go ahead. If you got something to say, Shakar,
Yeah.
do it.
Just a little thing, but even to Auntie Sean's point, like I love that you understand, and I even said it on Atonement Day on my how do I say, what's the word, my I guess when I went up to speak, like
Testimony.
nobody else. Sorry, say it again.
Testimony. Your testimony.
Testimony.
Yes. Sorry, testimony. Yeah, when I went up for my testimony, I said, like, I'm so thankful that I was able to be born in this nation, because like I look at my aunties and my uncles when I was there, and it's just like, wow, like nobody else is doing this. Nobody else is here 7 in the morning praising the God of Israel, right? And we see the dedication, and not just that, but we see the importance. We see the importance of these days, and why we celebrate, and why we carry out this order, right? And it all starts from Moses, carrying out the order, writing it down, giving it to Joshua. And then I don't want to, because we have multiple scriptures talking about that, but just leading our people. And that's who we are. We were always led, we were always led as a people. We were always such a troublesome people, but we were always led with a mighty right hand by the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? Either it was by him or by a leader that he placed, right? So it's really beautiful to take in that fact. That's all I want to say.
Absolutely. Let me jump back to verse 36 right here. It says, 7 days ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. On the 8th day shall be an holy convocation unto you, and ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. It is a solemn assembly, and ye shall do no service. So at the very beginning of the feasting is a holy convocation. It's a Sabbath. And then you close it off with a holy convocation, another Sabbath. And that caps the feasting week. Like, so you can understand, right at the start, right at the end, closing off the 5th Sabbath. So can you imagine all that spiritual food you're getting, right? Even from the very first day, blowing of trumpets when you were there. And by the way, the 40th year of tabernacle means filling up your tabernacle, your vessel, your body. So you've got to empty it out. As Sean was saying, the Day of Atonement is to empty it all out. Not just physically, but the mindset about, okay, did I do my brethren wrong? I need to go and have a talk and says, listen, I think I did something wrong to you. So hear me out and let me plead my case to you and ask you to forgive me of my wrong, that I must have been in the wrong space at that time and I came off wrong. So can you find it in your heart to forgive me and let me loose, so I don't have to have that conscience and have a clean slate? That's what the Day of Atonement is for, to get that slate cleaned up, wipe up, so that you're prepared. So therefore, my brethren, can you find it in your heart? When you sincerely go to your brethren and I know you got something to say, Sean, and you say, listen, I absolutely now remember I did something. Can you forgive me? Your brethren should be able to say, absolutely, because if your brethren cannot forgive you, then how can he go to our Father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, and ask for forgiveness? So you see?
Yes.
What do you got to say, Sean? I know you want to say something.
I hear you. I want to see if we can get into some of the slides here to see what's on there, and so
Yeah,
that we can
let's do it. Let's
pick it up
first
a little
slide.
bit,
Go to the
because I want to
second.
know a little bit more about tabs.
Okay, so I think this is our first slide. Let's move to the second slide.
Yes. Yes.
There we go. All right, Feast of Tabernacles from the year 1985. Oh my goodness. Ishika, you were not even around then, buddy. Here's what it
No,
says.
I was not. No, it was not.
So here's what it's saying. In this year, 2025, there is only one people who keeps the Feast of Tabernacles from 1985 to this current year. Absolutely. We're going to tell you who that people is. Let me finish reading, then we can comment on just the slide up for a bit.
Mhm.
They keep the feast in its entirety, in its season, and with the absolute earthly foundation. This is due to the supreme God who selected a man, our Master Teacher Elder Shadrock, to rebuild his nation. Now, let's have some comment on this. I've got answers for you, but let me hear what you guys got to say. And by the way, those out there also throw in your comments.
Okay, what I wanted to share with this is that the Feast of Tabernacles, the heading of it says from the year of 1985 in this year of 2025. What I said, the Feast of Tabernacles is a feast that we, the Israelite nation worldwide ministry, observed on the 15th day of the 7th month, Ethanim. It is in Leviticus chapter 23, verse 34 through 36, which we read already, and Numbers chapter 29, verse 12. And on the 15th day of the 7th month, ye shall have an holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work, and ye shall keep a feast unto the Lord 7 days. And then I looked at the Feast of Tabernacles from the year 1985 to this year, 2025, is 40 years. The significance of 40 years means complete period or cycle associated with renewal and a new beginning. The 40-year time frame from the year 1985 to this year, 2025, Elder Shadrock accepted the challenge to lead the Israelite nation, chosen people, back to him, and made a difference based on the precept of truth. It's a guiding rule and or principle about being truthful from the God of Israel word. Elder Shadrock has not had a smooth journey, but one of testing, discipline, and purification for our selected, anointed master teacher, Elder Shadrock, to rebuild the God of Israel nation, the Israelite nation worldwide ministry.
Absolutely. And by the way, too, when it says servile work, you guys know what that means, right?
Not to work. Not to work at all.
You don't go prepare stuff. I mean, you got to prepare food and things like that because you're about to feast.
It's the working outside.
Right.
That you have to get paid for. Like you go and there's a contract or a gig or your employer says, hey, you got to come in and put in some overtime.
No, so that's not it.
Right. Servile work means you can't go and be doing something to get paid for it. Like you're supposed to honor this day to go and prepare for the first night. Okay. So just so you guys know, understand that. What do you got to say about this title, Sean?
From the year 1985. While I was around, I was not around in this nation at that time. Right. So when we look at this, for 40 years, the obedience of one man to the God of Israel, following the instructions to honor and keep the Feast of Tabernacles, starting on the 15th day of the 7th month. It is an honor and a privilege to join in and be a part of this and learning about my culture and understanding why I am to do these things. And it's to honor the God of our forefathers, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So for this one man carrying this idea, this thought, this knowledge, this understanding, and pouring it out onto a group of people, us Israelites through the years, it was no small, easy feat. It was difficult because we're coming from outside of this nation where we were influenced by other things. There were other celebrations that were happening throughout the year that we were excited to be a part of, and coming in to realize that, oh, there are celebrations within the word, within the book that we're supposed to honor. This is one of them. And this is what we're supposed to do. So what he has done is to revive this nation and to help people to understand that these are the things that we are to honor. Leave the things that are outside, leave them there. That's not what we're supposed to honor. They have no bearing at all on what we're supposed to honor. And here we are today, still honoring.
Yeah. Like you, Sean. Listen, I wasn't even in the nation at that time. So you could imagine at this time of the year, like September, October, there's prepping for some vulture bird. You guys know the turkey and all that stuff. This month is the month of secular October, where they're saying it's Thanksgiving. So that mindset that we had was to be, yeah, we got to prepare for Thanksgiving. Not knowing that we were a child of Jacob, supposed to be keeping these laws, these statutes and commandments that says we need to keep a feast to the greatest of all gods, the God of
That's
Israel.
right. Mm-hmm.
And we're eating a vulture, a domesticated buzzard. It's a turkey, by the way. There's one and the same. Bald head, that thing hanging down on their chin and whatnot, and they semi-flight sometimes, but yeah, you're eating an unclean animal. Oh my goodness, can you imagine that now? When you start to think about this and you start get vexation that your parents, but it's not your parents' fault. It's just that they didn't know any better and they made you continue that tradition. Gotta have Thanksgiving and gotta eat that turkey. It's like, oh my goodness. So as you can see, unlike Issachar, who's that scripture when it says nothing common or unclean has ever entered his mouth, we can't even go near that. Me, you, Sean, and Veronica, we're like so tainted. Jeez, Issachar, man, you're making us jealous. Jeez, man. Like, oh, man. Man, we got corruption in us, pollution that we can't even get rid of. And that affects to me because I can't even use that title. I'm like so behind you. So yeah, 1985 to 2025 is 40 years that our elder has kept this. And here we are, whoever's coming in are so blessed to come in knowing that you're going to be keeping the right way to do these laws, statutes, and commandments. Getting in to do the Feast of Tabernacles. Of course, we're focusing on the Feast of Tabernacles, but we know there's like Passover, Feast of Dedication, and all these other holy days and things. But we want to focus on the Feast of Tabernacles, which is your vessel, your body, and why it's so important that the God of Israel has chosen 5 Sabbaths in this month to clean out mess and get ready for that brief moment where it's physically dark, yes, but also when the other side is at the high tide of their holidays and wickedness. Like they're at the peak of it, because right after our feasting days comes the Halloween, the Thanksgiving, Remembrance Day, Day of the Dead, All Saints, all these things. Oh my goodness. Christmas and blah, 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 blah. All to do with the dead, by the way, if you need to check the history of these things. Do a good research and check out these things. Don't take our word for it. Go do your own research. Our Elder Michael always says, go do your own research and see that all these things are related to the dead. So if you're keeping Thanksgiving and these things in this season in, you're just honoring the dead. So, and our God is not the God of the dead, but the God of the living.
But you know what, though, Uncle Elvis? We're not interested in what they are doing. We're excited about what we're doing and what we're going to be celebrating. And we're starting that tomorrow. We ain't going to go down that road. We ain't going down there. Let them stay down there. We'll be over here. And we're celebrating and we're enjoying our feast to our God and filling our spiritual tabernacles.
Nice. And I can't wait. So for you guys that are out there in Cyberland, jump in on the chat. If you're excited, say something. Don't be afraid. This Feast of Tabernacles, it's upon us pretty much. We're on the eve of it. Remember, from evening to evening is a day for us. It's not from midnight to midnight, the way the world wants you to think, but it starts at evening to evening. So yes, we're on the eve of it. One more day.
And I just want to say one thing, but you see that we always say that we're going into the dark times, and we're they're gonna start having, I guess, their power, right? Because Halloween and Christmas and all these things they serve the dead, right? I feel like this is a spiritual detox for us, you know?
Mm,
Just cleansing our souls, you know, just being clean spiritually, right? And then it's scary. Yes, it's scary to go through those dark times. It's scary to face your enemy, I guess, in their territory, or should I say their season, right? Because we're always fighting, right? It's scary to face our enemies in their seasons, but my mom said it before, it's like we're flowers, we are trees, and we don't grow without darkness, you know? Like what we were seeds before, right? And we were planted in the dirt. And how did we grow? With the sunlight, with water. Water is our knowledge, our wisdom. The sunlight is I guess the guidance, you know, and the guidance is the God of Israel, right? So like we're trees, and we're growing. And without that darkness, without those journeys, sometimes without those bends, you know, we don't get to our full potential. Sometimes without those falls, we don't get to our full potential, you know. My big brother always said this, or should I say big nephew, but he said like you have to fail in life, like you have to fail to succeed, because if you fail, you know not to go down that road. Oh, I went to this, I went through this, sorry, I went through this, so now I'm not going to trip it anymore, right? Or
Mhm.
maybe you will trip again, but it's always a process of learning and understanding. It's always a process of learning and understanding, you know. And that's the beauty of a path, or your journey, I should say. That's the beauty. You have to go through those trials and those tribulations, you know. You have to go through the fight, you know what I'm saying? And this is our preparation, right before the fight. You know, to get your sword, to get your sword, sorry, and your shield. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's all I want to say. But yeah,
And
so
also,
let's
I see it in building spiritual muscles during this time. You know, because like I said, you came through the Day of Atonement, and then you have your Feast of Tabernacle. Now you can build your spiritual muscles. Uh, you are before the God of Israel. When testing time come, or you gonna trust your Father, or you gonna fold. So my thing is, you building spiritual muscles. You are believing the God of Israel to bring you through whatever you face, whomever come up against you. You are believing God, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob, that they will stumble and fall. Because why? You are your father's child. The God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob. He's going to back you up. He's going to cover you. So like I said, I see it as building spiritual muscles. He building me spiritually. He's making me rely and trust in him, and him alone. So no, that's why I see it.
nice, nice, nice. Listen, hold that comment there for a second, EB. It says in this year 2025, there's only one people who keeps the Feast of Tabernacle. Now, who are these people? People.
Israelites.
Israelite nation.
The Israelites.
If you're not part of this Israelite Nation
Right.
Worldwide Ministry, you're not
You're
keeping the
keeping
right.
the tabernacles. That's right.
We got our people in the.
sorry. There's a comment by Tony Walker. It just says, you know, we should not be afraid to go through the times of darkness when we are the Israelites giving the light onto the world. And that's just so beautiful. That's so beautiful, the message that you put out, you know, because we are the Israelites. We are the light shining. We are the mighty nation. We're the truth, you know, and we hold so much power, and we always have to keep that in mind. We always have to keep that in mind, but also be humble, you know, also be humble, because we know the power that we have. We know the power that it was bestowed onto us. We know the power that was given unto us, because the power that was given unto us was the God of Israel. He gave us so much power. He is the power himself, you know. And
So
it shows how much I guess knowledge we have. Yeah, it shows
you got,
how much we could do and we should be doing, right?
you got that right, Ishka,
Yeah.
because only in the darkness can the light shine, and you notice it, by the way. when it's sunny outside and you have a flashlight, you barely recognize that flashlight actually.
Mhm.
But when it's
Yes,
dark and you shine that flashlight, even your phone light, it's like, my goodness, why is it so bright? Yes, so yes, in the dark you get to shine even brighter. So at this time of the year, we shouldn't be saying, oh, it's a dark season. We should actually say, fabulous. Time for us to shine even brighter, because you're going to be coming to me because I am the Israelite.
That's right. And with that in mind, let's move to the next slide.
What do we got for the next slide, EB? And EB means Elder Brian. He's looking at Deuteronomy. Let me see. Deuteronomy 31.
31.
Mm-hmm. Let me get Ishakar to read that through.
Okay. So this is Deuteronomy 31, verse 7. And it says, And Moses called unto Joshua and said unto him in the sight of all Israel, Be strong and be of good courage, for thou must go with this people unto the land which the Lord hath sworn unto their fathers to give them. And thou shalt cause them to inherit it, and the Lord, He it is that doeth go before thee. He will be with thee, he will not fail thee, neither forsake thee. Fear not, neither be dismayed. And Moses wrote this law and delivered it unto the priests of the sons of Levi, which bear the ark of the covenant of the Lord, unto all of the elders of Israel.
Wow. What do you got to say about that, Sean and Veronica? Fire away.
What I
You're
see
on.
is that
There you go.
Moses. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Veronica.
Okay. What I see is that Moses is preparing Joshua to take his place.
Mhm.
And I'm seeing that also Moses is preparing the people to receive Joshua because of the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob order. So it's like God of Israel always does things decently and orderly. It's nothing. God of Israel never does anything out of order. So I see order, and I see the God of Israel instructing how things are going to be, and selecting the leader. And also I see that the God of Israel is telling the children of Israel that they are going into the promised land, which is Canaan. And that Joshua is going to lead them into and the God of Israel is telling them, you are going to get this land. Do not fear. The land is yours. I'm giving you this land. I'm taking the land from them, and I'm giving you this land. So, like I said, I see that how God of Israel is making preservation for his children. He is providing for us and letting us know it is ours already. We just have to have faith in him and believe him and walk out in it.
Mhm.
And don't be moved by what we see or what we hear. Keep our focus, keep our vision, keep our mind, keep our thoughts on the God of Israel, and take him as his word.
That's right. Now, let me just jump onto that, Veronica. And Moses called unto Joshua and said unto him in the sight of all Israel, Be strong and of a good courage. When I look at those words, what comes to mind is that we have our own modern day Moses. And our modern day Moses is making preparations within this nation for new leadership as well. And for us, he's preparing us with the guidance of the God of our forefathers, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, so that we will continue to inherit all the gifts that the God of our forefathers have for us. So right in there is telling us, don't be weary. Keep being strong. This is just my application when I look at that and look at where I am today, that as Israel, we are also being prepared, and we have the laws, we have the statutes, we have the commandments. We also had the covenant through our forefathers through Abraham. And these are the things that we are trying to maintain today in Israel, and along with all our priesthood and everything like that. So I like where it's telling Moses is preparing Joshua. Our Moses is also preparing our leaders today.
And also to piggyback off of what Chandra said, I'm looking at Acts chapter 3, verse 22. It says, For Moses truly said unto the Father, a prophet shall the Lord your God raise up unto you of your brethren, like unto me. Him shall ye hear in all things whatsoever he shall say unto you. And it shall come to pass that every soul which would not hear the prophet shall be destroyed from among the people.
That's right.
Yea,
It shall be cut off.
yea,
It's
yea,
not funny. It's not funny.
yea,
You're gonna get cut off.
yea, and all the prophets from Samuel and those that follow after, as many as have spoken, have likewise foretold of these days. So, like as Sean said, we got a Moses of today, and we have a Joshua of today. And I say it is inside the house of Israel. So it's like I see how God of Israel orchestrate everything. He set everything up on motion as it is in heaven. It shall be down here in earth.
Earth, right?
So I like how the God of Israel said order. There's nothing old and there's nothing new. As it is inside the Old Testament, it is inside the New Testament. Everything correlates. Everything worked together because why the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob said it in order. So that's what I see.
Absolutely. And you cannot do when they say the New Testament if you didn't have the books of Moses. Isn't that so? In those days, when they were reading and going through these things, they had to refer to the books of Moses. It's not like they were doing stuff and it was like make up as they go. No. They had to refer back to. There has to be that continuation and so forth. So that's right. Order is very important. Our God has structured order and all these things that so that we, his people, the Israelites, the children of Israel, can continue to do these things from generation to generation, especially when. Go ahead.
There's one last thing there, Uncle Elvis, before we move on, is that Moses called on to Joshua. It shows us that there can only be one leader at a time.
Absolutely.
He's preparing Joshua because Joshua is going to increase and Moses will decrease. So only one leader at any time.
Always. And you see that also in the Second Testament when John the Baptist came, and when the Christ came, it had to go like this. Okay. And then when he's going, then the Comforter comes in. So you can't have all these leaders all over the place. It doesn't work that way. It's always the one that's leading the people, the one that's been given that honor and privilege to lead the people. You can't take it. If it's not given to you, don't even bother. It has to be given unto you. So there you have it. I know you want to say something. God, jump in.
Yeah, I just want to say a little quick thing, but yeah, this just to jump on what everybody said. This verse just shows leadership and just passing down the torch. This is a great, I guess, representation of passing down the torch, and just the verse goes on, but it says to pass down to generation after generation. Make sure no one forgets, right? And it's so beautiful how our nation works, right? We don't just think for ourselves. We think of the future and what our children need to know, right? And that's what I need to know. So that's why I thank Elder Shadrock, because he rebuilt this nation, right? He rebuilt this nation for young boys like me to keep going, to keep flourishing, to keep growing, right? And it's just so beautiful. It's beautiful to see what we have come to. 40 years.
Because listen, if it was not for our master teacher, I would not have any clue about Passover. Because before you came into Israel, you hear that the Jewish people are keeping Passover, and you think, oh, okay, yeah, they're keeping Passover, blah blah blah. They're keeping this and keeping that. Not you thinking that is for you. And then we didn't even hear about the Feast of Tabernacles, the holiest month in our calendar. You have no clue that it's for you. Now, because of our master teacher, Elder Shadrock, I actually know the Feast of Tabernacles and how important it is. Listen, I am not a winter person and cold season. I love summer as much as I would love it to stay summer 365 because I'm a heat person. Not happening. But our God says that we have to have change of seasons. Otherwise, if we don't have it, we're stuck always in, like, when am I going to get to the Feast of Tabernacles if we don't have the timeline that shows spring, summer, fall, winter, back to, like, if we don't have that, how do we ever get back to Tabernacles? Like, we have to have this time of the year where it's fall. Yes, I don't like the fall because we're losing the green leaves. I get sad, absolutely. Am I a summer person? For sure. But my God says the leaves have to go. You have to fast. You have to have so you got no choice, Elvis. I said, no problem. I'm keeping the Feast of Tabernacles wholeheartedly, actually.
And yeah, it shows that the God of Israel thinks ahead, right? As much me too, I am not a winter person, and when I get sick, man, my immune system just goes out the window. Like man. And I start to be sick for like two weeks, a week, and it's just bad, but it shows that we need that time of change. We need that time of just like falling down and having to get back up, you know? We have to train. We have to train our body, and that's what the God of Israel was also planning on, right? And that's what we didn't see, that he wants he wants his children to be strong, right? And it's beautiful because we get to recharge ourselves. We really do, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The funny thing too is if you're in the tropics, it's going to be green all the time, so you're not going to kind of notice changes too much, knowing that the leaves are falling off, and you won't even know that, oh, this is the 7th month. You're thinking it's July, August all the time if it's green all year round. I mean, trust me, that's the mindset. But if you're noticing change, that this is the harvest season, the 7th month, you're saying, okay, I got to prepare, not just physically, mentally, but especially spiritually, actually. You can prepare physically and mentally, but what's more important is spiritually. And this month of Ethan, the 7th month, is that month for us as Israelite to prep. You start off by blowing up the trumpets, ringing in that 7th month. You have a Sabbath after at the 7th day. Now you have the cleaning out, get rid of the junk, clean up your slate. Brethren, I know I stepped on your toe, help. Forgive me. Fasting. Now you have tomorrow for us at evening, the first night of feasting, physically, but spiritually, more important, spiritually, and then on the 8th, the Holy. But yes, you do need these things to happen, guys. Are we done with this slide?
Yes, we are. Move on to the next, please.
I'm going to jump over, not to the next one, but to the one that brings up Ezra, okay? Let's ask Elder Brian to fast forward maybe 1 or 2 slides.
There we go. Ezra. Yes.
Oh, perfect. So instead of from, it says 1 to 6. We're going to go from Ezra 3, 1 to 4. Okay, because it's going to capture the essence. And I believe Ezra was the rebuilding of the nation, like the walls of Jerusalem and so forth, just like Nehemiah and whatnot. But let's jump in and see what it says. Verse 1 says, and when the 7th month was come, and the children of Israel were in the cities, the people gathered themselves together as one man to Jerusalem. Let me read that over, and you guys got to grab the essence. It says, and when the 7th...
Hold on there, Uncle Elvis, hold on 1 second. We got a donation here from Albert Crump. We want to give him thanks. Thank you so much, Albert, for the donation of the $50. Much appreciated.
Very, very much appreciated, Albert. Thank you so much, sir. We really appreciate these donations. So let me hit you guys with that again. Right off the bat it says, and when the 7th month was come. And remember, we're not talking, was it July? Remember when I counted January, February, March, April, May, June, July. We're not talking July. Okay, that's the secular 7th month. We don't go by the secular month. We go by our Israelite months, and they are named specifically, okay? So when the 7th month was come, and the children of Israel. It's not talking any other people. So I don't know why when people read the Bible, they think they say Christianity. Up till now, I don't see no Christianity right now from Genesis to Revelation. I have not seen it in there. It says, it couldn't say, and the children of Christianity. Like that don't sound right, actually. It says, and the children of Israel were in the cities. The people gathered themselves together as one man to Jerusalem. That's why when he says, I call my son, although there was millions of people, but he says, I call my son out of Egypt. It's always referred to us as one. Okay?
Because we're supposed to be in one accord. We're one people serving one God, the same God. We're one people.
That's right. Verse 2 says, then stood up Jeshua, the son of Jozadak, and his brethren, the priests, and Zerubbabel, the son of Shealtiel, and the brethren, and his brethren, and builded the altar of God of the God of Israel to offer burnt offerings thereon. Let me flip over the scripture. As it is written in the law of Moses, the man of God. Gonna have to read that over so we grasp the essence of that. Okay? So yes, the man of God is Moses, also the friend of God. You know what kind of title that is if you get the title the friend of God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, to be a friend? Not just because there's prophets and priests, but to be a friend, you know how close that is, how kind of relationship that is that Moses had with God? Jeez, people don't grasp that. In the scriptures, there's no other friend like that. There's no other person that was given that. A friend of God. Moses was talking to God as if they sit down. You know, when you sit down with your friend and, you know, you're chit-chatting and sometimes you slap your friend in the back and says, oh, man, you remember those days? And that kind of chummy thing. Like, you could just imagine God and Moses sitting down. Moses put his foot up. God puts his foot up and says, yeah, Moses, you know, having that kind of nice talk as a friend. And you always have a nice close friend, by the way. So yes, let me go through that again. Then stood up Jeshua, the son of Jozadak, and his brethren the priest, and Zerubbabel, the son of Shealtiel, and his brethren, and builded the altar of the God of Israel to offer burnt offerings thereon, as it is written in the law of Moses, the man of God. So yes, it had in the 7th month. What say you guys? Give me your input on that. Anyone out there in Cyberland, throw your comments so we can hear what your thinking is. Also, put up some fires, some sevens, some stars. Let us hear what you think this night happening. Our Friday night Bible studies is going on regarding the 40 years of tabernacles since our Elder Shadrock brought this message unto us, the people of God.
Doing over here in verse 2, when he talks about Joshua the son of Jozadak and the brethren, and they went and they built the altar of God. Once again, this is pointing to obedience to the God of Israel. And in doing these things and following the laws of Moses, the man of God, they were remaining focused on who their God is and which God they're supposed to worship. So understanding why they're doing these things points them to worshiping the God of Israel at all times, because it says, for fear was upon them because of the people of those countries. So if they're not honoring their God, it could mean that they could be moving away and worshiping other gods. And he says, thou shalt not have any other God before me, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God. So staying focused, staying connected, keep working, keep building, you then will stay connected to the God of Israel. So that's what I see here when they're building the altar and then they're doing all these things, because they're containing themselves and staying within their own culture. So they're not mixing with the people of those countries and doing other things and end up worshiping false gods.
And also, I would jump on chapter 1, verse 1, where it says, and when the 7th month was come, so it's letting me know that the month of Ethanim, the children of Israel came, to gather themselves unto Jerusalem, facing the east. So I'm looking at that everything was done decently. It was done in order. It was done inside the correct time frame, the correct season, the 7th month. And also, it's not that I also see that the children of Israel, as was stated earlier by Sean, that we all was on one accord. We all came together under one umbrella to worship, to honor the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob, and to keep this in remembrance. We did not forget. So it's like this is a remembrance for us to come back and to keep the 7 months and to keep it holy to Him. And also, I see that it giving us a chance to repent. It gives us a chance to be restored to our Father. So, like I say, the 7th month is very vital. It's very essential for an Israelite to honor the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob, and to keep it holy.
That's right.
Agreed.
Absolutely, Veronica. You got that. Hitting the nail with the hammer on the head.
I just want to say something about the scripture. Like my auntie Veronica said, we all gathered in Jerusalem as one accord, right? And even though we were surrounded by our enemies, which it says in verse 3, we still praised the God of Israel. Like, we still sent up burnt offerings unto the Lord. Like, I don't think people see how much dedication that shows, like how much passion and power and faith, like the faith you would have to have, like your enemies are surrounding you, but you're still given an order. And not just that, you carried out the order, you didn't run away. And this shows how much power we hold. This shows that we need preparation. This shows that we need the time of darkness, right? Because it shows that our nation, we went through trials, we went through tribulations, even walking throughout the Red Sea, we went through so many trials, right? It shows the power we hold and the strength we are as one, not just one person, but as one.
That's right. That's right.
Absolutely, Ishikar, my man. You got that right. Let's hit
Yeah,
verse.
I'm sorry. I just want to say sorry. My mic's kind of, fidgety a little bit. Yeah, there's just something wrong with my mic. Just want to apologize.
I can hear you loud and clear. Don't worry, you're good to go.
Okay.
All right, let me hit verse 3 for you guys. It says, and they set the altar upon his bases, for fear was upon them because of the people of those countries. And they offer burnt offerings thereon unto the Lord, even burnt offerings morning and evening. So they were worried about the other people, like they're in another country and they were doing these things. So they were afraid that somebody's gonna come in and kibosh them or do something and whatnot. But they still kept doing it. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a commandment.
That's right.
It's a commandment. If you love the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, you will do and keep his commandments.
But guess what happened now? Look at this now, Uncle Elvis. Sorry, Elvis. They are in this country, and fear was upon them because things were happening around them. But they stood strong and they honored their God. And why? Because they believed by faith that he would protect them from these people anyhow. So they did what they were supposed to do while God took care of the other stuff around them. They were not afraid. They should have been afraid, but they were not, because they were doing their due diligence. They were honoring their father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob, and left everything else up to him to take care of.
And that's how it should be. Like when you get the grasp of honoring the true and living God. Now, the most powerfulest God there is. So just think, the very air I breathe, he created it. That I don't think people get it. Like, what's that 333 thing that you can survive for help me out, you guys. I think it's 3 minutes without oxygen. You know what I mean. But to lose your breath for 3 minutes, you just to hold it and somebody put a bag and you lose that air, you panic already. So that very air that you breathe, he created it. The very light you see, he created it. The very clouds, the water you drink, these things he created. So why can't you just honor him and say thanks? And especially at this time of the year when they were keeping the Feast of Tabernacles. Like, if you could understand how powerful this God is, when you get these laws, when you get chosen actually, and you're in the house of Israel, in his house, you should be in awe every day to say, my goodness, maybe I couldn't have woken up the next day because things could have happened. And you already know how many millions of people go to bed each night and never wake up to see the next day.
That's
So
right.
You know, a powerful point about that, because when you think about and looking at verse 3, that when you are focused on the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob, you can be surrounded by your enemies, but then it's your attention, your focus, your energy, everything is on the God of Israel. It seems like everything just tune out. They don't even exist because while you are so focused on the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob, is that they don't even grab your attention. They can't even pull you away because you are that glued to the God of Israel. And like I said, that the God of Israel got you covered because why? He promised you already what he's going to do for you. So it's like you building spiritual muscles. Okay, Father, if you don't deliver me, there is no hope. I can't turn to nobody else. So it's like, you could be going through pretty hell, but when you focus on the God of Israel and you are in lock and you are in tune with him, don't nothing matter, don't nothing move you, because
Amen,
you know that you are secure. Can nothing penetrate. It can't, because why? The God of Israel is protecting you because you are doing what he told you to do. You're keeping his laws, his statutes, his commandments. You doing what he told you to do. So therefore, he's going to honor his word. He's going to honor you. He's going to protect you.
That's right. You got it, Veronica. In other words, put him above everything in your life. He is first and foremost. Above your own life is how it should be done. So when you do that, don't worry about what's happened to the left, to the right, to the center. Just focus on him and him alone. And as much as you may see the enemy come upon you, in a heartbeat, if he snaps his finger, if you could imagine hell and mayhem is coming upon you, but you're focusing on him and he snaps his finger, it's like nothing's there but you and him. So you got to have that mindset not to fall into the despair of fear of what the other people are going to do, what the enemy's going to do. No.
But Elvis, here is one more thing you got to look at here in verse 3 too. Do you realize that where the children of Israel go, that they build an altar?
Yes.
That is so key in here, that the children of Israel must have an altar to the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob.
And isn't that so that we have an altar here at headquarters?
That's right.
Oh my goodness. Can't say anything to you people out there. If you're not here, just that certain things, you have to be here to see and know what we're talking about. I know Veronica knows, Ishikar knows, Sean knows. You guys know what I'm talking about. And for all my brethren that are out there, you know exactly what we're talking about. Now, if you're a stranger just tuning in, you just got to get your ticket to start coming in. I mean, the Bible study group that who's Tyrone heads up, jumping on that and start getting what it is to be an Israelite. Let's go on to verse 4. It says, they kept also the Feast of Tabernacles as it is written, and offered the daily burnt offerings by number according to the custom as the duty of every day required. Yes, they kept the Feast of Tabernacle also. And even from there all the way past Jesus and past all these guys, they all kept the Feast of Tabernacles in its not just keep it, but in its season. It's so important that you must keep it in its season, always in the 7th month, our holiest month, which is Ethanim. So yeah, we got to keep that tabernacles, because without it, how are we going to grow and fill up our tabernacles for the next season, which is Passover season coming up. Before Passover, we got, you know this one, before Passover, we got Purim.
Pure.
That's right. So after this, our next time when we do something major is coming up the Purim, and that's a different story in its own. But tabernacles is something else. You're looking for some good. So this is where some of these famous cooks in Israel get to highlight their hands, by the way. So these are when some of these dishes only come out at this time of the year. And if you miss one of those days of feasting, it's too bad. Because sometimes these things you just want to say, let me take a little bit home so I can have a little bit more for the next day. But then the next day comes and it's like, oh man, no, let me take some.
Wait, sorry. There's a donation by James Gibbs. Thank you so much for $50. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for the support, man.
James, thank you so much on behalf of all 4 of us here on this online Bible studies. Thank you so much. Lindia Hales, thank you so much. Another donation of $100. Excellent. Thank you. Really, truly, and appreciate that. Excellent. What do we have, Sean? What do we got? What's our time like? I know we got like about
20 minutes to go.
But let's move on to Zechariah. There's a slide in regards to Zechariah. Elder Brian, can you pull that up for us, please? Can you get there? Somewhere, Zechariah 14. Can you jump there? Because we don't have a lot of time, and we're gonna skip over Chronicles actually. Skip over that one. Skip. Yeah, skip. No, back up. Where is it? No, it's not there.
No, it's not there.
All right. In any case, let's do it. I'll give it to you. So let's move into Zechariah. Zechariah 14. Give you guys about 30 seconds to get there. All you Bible scholars are good at finding these before me. So those are online. Zechariah 14. Let's get there. And we're going to start off. Guys there? Okay, Zechariah 14. Lucy Smith, thank you so much for your donation. We absolutely appreciate these things. When you guys donate to help us keep the lights on, keep things like this going. So absolutely, thank you guys very, very much for all the donations that are coming. So are we there?
Yep, we're there.
All right. Zechariah 14, verse 16. All right, let me start. So hopefully we can, 16 to 19, hopefully we can get it in before our timeline elapsed. And it shall come to pass that everyone that is left of all the nations which came against Jerusalem shall even go up from year to year to worship the King, the Lord of hosts, and to keep the Feast of Tabernacles. So so it's talking about for those nations which came up against Jerusalem. Okay, 17. And we'll go through it fast and then we can comment into it, because I think if we don't, we'll actually run out of time. Verse 17. And it shall be that whoso will not come up of all the families of the earth unto Jerusalem to worship the King, the Lord of hosts, even upon them shall be no rain. Oh boy.
Oh
boy.
my goodness.
Let me
wait, man. This is brutal.
Come back. I know where you're going already, son. Let me read through and we'll come back. We'll rally back.
Okay.
Because if we don't, we might not even get past this right now. That alone right there. So 18. Okay. And if the family of Egypt go not up and come not, that have no rain, there shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite the heathen that come not up to keep the Feast of Tabernacles. Oh my goodness, jeez. Wait, we're not done. Not done. One more verse. This shall be the punishment of Egypt and the punishment of all nations that come not up to keep the Feast of Tabernacles. Boom. Okay, let's rally back. We had to read that fast so we can kind of get it in and understand that it's not just talking about Egypt, but all the nations. Okay, right now the population of the planet is what, 7.8 or close to 8 billion? Okay, all right, I hear you. So Sean, I know you want to say something, so fire away.
I was just thinking of when we look at even the instructions with regards to atonement, where it says that we should come. You shouldn't be by yourself doing anything. You got to come together, because the God of Israel always wants his family together, worship together, honor him together, feast together. So when he gives the instructions for them to come up to Israel and to worship, and if you don't come, you shall have no rain. So I think of like with atonement, you don't show up, you shall be cut off. Who wants to be cut off? Who wants to not have rain? Why would you not want to come? And he put the message out here so plain that he says, as a matter of fact, every nation.
Yes, every nation.
I'm not even excluding anybody. Every nation, if not, then these are the things that will happen. Because the Lord thy God is a jealous God. He wants us to remember, come before him to worship and honor and keep the Feast of Tabernacles. Get your temple clean, sorted out, refilled, re-energized, and ready to go into the next season unto Abib.
Here's something to Sean. If people haven't noticed, it says come to Jerusalem.
Yes, instructions.
So, in other words, no matter where you are, maybe you're in Timbuktu, maybe you're way down, and you got to come to Jerusalem. So come to headquarters. It's like in Passover season. You got to go to Jerusalem to keep the Passover. You have to. It's just instructions. It's not me saying it. It's not you saying it. It's not Ireland. It's the Bible that's telling us you got to come to Jerusalem to keep this thing. So
we just want to remind the viewers for a second, Elvis, that we're reading from Zechariah 14. Zechariah chapter 14, and Elvis read from verse 16
to 19.
For those that didn't catch it.
That's right. Now, it's all nations. That's first it's saying that you're going to get no rain. And you know, in those days, and even this day, if you don't get rain, that's a curse upon you. To get rain is a blessing. What's the okay? Hence, this is Sophia. It says, hence the reason we have 5 chances to present ourselves before him. No, absolutely no excuses, none whatsoever. So 5 chances. What do you need? 5? You don't even. You just need 1 chance. The day of blowing up the trumpet alone. And by the way, that's a special. It's a new moon. But it's also a special new moon. It's a Sabbath. Not all the new moons are like that. Okay, so just understand that's the first of the Sabbath, the new moon, the blowing of the first day of the month of Athanim. Okay, my goodness.
I don't think I know you guys are not done reading, but before we do end, I would love to read I think the 3rd slide, which is the Psalms. I think it's Psalms. What was it? Psalms 40. I think it was Psalms 43. Uncle Brian, can you go to that one? Yes, Psalms 43. Yes. So I just wanted to read it, but it was so beautiful to me. Like, it hit me, and I love when David just talks in his Psalms, you know, because in this. Well, let me read it first. Judge me, O God, and plead my cause against an ungodly nation. O deliver me from the deceitful and the unjust man. For thou art the God of my strength. Why dost thou cast me off? Why go I mourning because of the oppression of my enemy? O send out thy light and thy truth. Let them lead me. Let them bring me unto thy holy hill and unto thy tabernacles. Then I will go unto the altar of God, unto God my exceeding joy. Yea, upon the harp will I praise thee, O God, my God. Why art thou cast down, O my soul? And why art thou disquieted? I don't know how to say that word.
Disquieted.
Disquieted within me. Hope in God, for I shall yet praise him, who is the health of my countenance and my God. This is this is why I love David, guys. This is exactly why I love David, because you see how he goes through his trials. He sinned so many times, and it came to a point where the God of Israel was like, do you want to be punished by your enemies or me, right? And David said him, right? And this is just David going through his times and his struggles, and he's saying, even if the Lord's not hearing me right now, because he has a certain relationship with the God of Israel, right? He called him his friend. There's so many people in the Bible. There's only few people in the Bible that the God of Israel kind of had this relationship with, right? But he's saying, like, he's speaking to the Lord. He's like, I will still praise thee. I will still praise you, right? In this holy tabernacle, I will still praise thy Lord, because I know the power of my God. I know what he's doing for me. I'm hiding from my enemies, but he's helping me to hide. He's helping me, he's guiding me, and he's misguiding them, right? And it also says in the different psalms, what's it called? Don't lead me into their traps, right? Because he's running from his enemies. But I know I'm going on, and I'm just, just murmuring basically, but I just want to explain that, because it's so beautiful what David says to the God of Israel, and how he praises him with just speaking the words, just speaking the truth, right? It's just so beautiful to me. That's all I want to point out. I'm sorry, but you guys can continue on.
Oh
Yeah.
no, it's cool. I agree with you 100%. I like Psalms 43 myself. I do, because David had a repentant heart. He was quick to acknowledge he did wrong. He was quick to say, God, Israel, this is what I did. Forgive me. He never pointed his finger at nobody else. He said, God, Israel, this is what I did. So I like that about David. He was quick to repent. He was quick to not only repent, but David got it right. You know what I'm saying? He said, God, create in me a clean heart and renewed the right spirit within me. So it's like you see a deep connection with the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob. And that is my desire. God, if I did anything wrong, forgive me. I'm not blaming my brother. I ain't blaming nobody. God, this is what I did. Forgive me for what I did. I own up to what I did, and created me a clean heart and renew the right spirit within me. Do not let my fellowship be broken because of me or what somebody did to me. Because of what they did to me, it's not going to stop me. I'm going forward. So it's like, I like that, judge me and plead my cause against my enemy. So it's like David's not taking matters into his own hand. He's trusting God to take vengeance for him. That's what I love about it.
I hear you. Nice, Veronica. So once again, guys, and I want your last words on this. I'm going to reread that again, Zechariah. And let me hear, because we don't have a lot of time. That's something like maybe about 5-6 minutes. So I'll speed read through it again and just kind of give me your take on it and what you think. So here we go. Zechariah 14, verse 16. Let me go fast. And it shall come to pass that everyone that is left of all the nations which came against Jerusalem shall even go up from year to year to worship the King, the Lord of hosts, and to keep the Feast of Tabernacles. 17. And it shall be that whoso will not come up at all the families of the earth unto Jerusalem to worship the King, the Lord of hosts, even upon them shall be no rain. And if the family of Egypt go not up and come not, that have no rain, there shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite the heathen that come not up to keep the Feast of Tabernacles. Last verse, 19. This shall be the punishment of Egypt and the punishment of all nations that come not up to keep the Feast of Tabernacles. What say you guys? Come on. What say you?
I just want to just jump in a little bit before we end, but this just shows the God of Israel's power. Like it says in the first verse, it says, "And it shall come to pass that everyone that is left of all the nations which came against Jerusalem,"
we know who that is.
I wonder who that is that came against
Everybody.
Jerusalem, shall even go up from year to year to worship the King of Israel, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, and they shall keep the Feast of Tabernacles. Like the nations that went up against us, they will bow down and hear our God's name. Do you like? We don't. I know you guys understand how powerful we are, but do everybody in Cyberland, do you know how powerful you are as a person, as a people? Do you know what your true light is? It's so beautiful. Like we don't know how far the truth can take us. You don't know how bright our eyes could be open, you know? And it's like our eyelids were shut for so many years. Well, not mine, because I was born in the nation.
You're
you know what I'm saying?
Blessed, Issachar. The truth will set you free. That's for sure. Absolutely. Veronica, what say you, or Sean, whoever wants to go first? What's your take?
Well, for me, I wanted to go a little bit, and I know we're winding down, over into one of the slides we didn't get to, over in John chapter 7, where they were having the Feast of Tabernacles when Jesus came there. And as I read it, I realized that people have separated the New Testament from the Old Testament, saying the old is gone. But if the old is gone, why is in the new? Why were they having the Feast of Tabernacles right there? And why did Jesus go to the Feast of Tabernacles? Why?
We know what the answer is, because they were reading from the books of Moses, because you can't get rid of that. I don't know how you people could do this without that.
So therefore, this is just proof that it doesn't matter what section of the book you open to read. The laws, the statutes, the commandments are spread throughout the entire book. So if you're over here, it's the same thing. If you're over there, it's the same thing. That's what I'm thinking when I see that in John.
The funny thing, though, Sean, is people don't understand it's a continuation from Genesis all the way through to Revelation. And no matter, as you said, wherever you start, it's a continuation of that family.
That's right.
And the one true living God, that he's made a covenant to that people. So if you're not understanding the beginning, you will never understand anything else throughout the book.
That's right.
Veronica, what do you say? I think we got like about a few minutes, but go ahead. Based on those that we just read. Okay,
based on what you and Sean was talking about, they can have the truth if they come
Zechariah. Based on Zechariah, and then we'll come in with the last 30 seconds each for
Zechariah.
maybe.
Based on that. Based on Zechariah. Okay. Well, as the course said, I agree with him 100%. You know, it's like you have to know who your God is, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob is. You have to know that. You have to know. And the only way you're going to know that is coming to the house of Israel. You have to come home to learn to get this truth and to know this truth. You're not going to get it outside of Israel. You would not get it. You're not going to get nothing but deception and lies and be broke. Come to the house of Israel and get fed spiritual food so you can grow spiritually and have spiritual muscles. And then in the process, you will be blessed physically. So I'm like, come on home to the house of Israel and be fed.
Absolutely. You guys understand that? Listen, we're living like right now physically. With medical science, I might end up living 110, 120 years. Who knows? But you know, when you pass from this physical plane and you go on the other side, there's no timeline. There's no numbers that you can add to the zeros. You know what forever means. So if you're good with the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, you're living good. But if you're not, you're in torment forever. Like, I don't understand how you can't get, there's no numbers that you can fabricate in your mind. You can't even comprehend how forever is. There's no zeros to attach to these things. So either you're thinking to go right with the God of Israel. If not, then sorry, but geez, that should be very, very scary. But anyways, listen, I enjoyed having you guys here for this discussion. This hour almost reminds me of our Bible studies in our book club. But excitement, passion from Veronica, Sean, Issachar, the young coming is giving us his perspective on the fact that he's never eaten anything unclean. Oh, Issachar, man. Jeez. That's so jealous. Oh, man. But yes, it's been an absolutely fun night to talk to you guys out there with my group here, Issachar, Veronica, and Sean, regarding 40 years of the Feast of Tabernacles. Tomorrow is going to be a exciting time for us. First night of feasting. I am already salivating, okay, because I know there's going to be some super enjoyable food to eat physically and spiritually. Oh my goodness. Do I have enough containers? Oh man. Anyways, let's wrap it up. Guys, did you enjoy tonight?
Yes, I did enjoy tonight. And for me, I just want to close off by saying that I am grateful for the understanding and the knowledge of knowing and following the instructions of having the Feast of Tabernacles, and to present myself before the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob, and in one accord with our brethren to celebrate and have a good time before our God. People don't realize our God loves good times too, you know.
Yes, he does.
He's a God of, he likes excitement too. People don't know that. And then, but then also to recognize that people will not get it because they're just blind. And you can interpret the word blind any way you want to. They will not see it. They will not understand it. In order to understand, you've got to come to the Israelite Nation Worldwide Ministries and come home. As Veronica said earlier, come home.
Absolutely. So, Veronica, 10, 15 seconds. Go ahead. Fire away.
Okay. I just want to give a shout out to Elder Shadrock for being obedient. And by him being obedient, I'm able to be an Israelite, baptized Israelite, learning the truth and inside the house of Israel, being safe.
Nice. Issachar.
Just a quick thank you to Elder Shadrock, which is my grandpa. You know, love him very much, and I'm very happy that I'm here. You know, because without you guys, without Elder Shadrock, the 40 years, like he built this nation for 40 years, like, and I don't think we understand how much like dedication you would need. Like, imagine like you're starting off first year, people don't believe in you, the second year, and it just keeps going on, and sometimes you feel like giving up, but you can't, because you know that this is the truth. You know that there's children out there dying, right? And you see the spiritual, like just like dysfunction. It's not just cops out there, it's not just the black boys, it's a spiritual like disconnection, right? And I love that we are able to connect that now. We are able to see that. People like me that are born in the nation, I'm able to see that. I'm able to teach now, right? And this is how far we have come, you know?
Awesome. Thank you, Elder Shadrock. You are an awesome, amazing man. 40 years you've held this fort down for us. Thank you. With that, I say peace.
Peace.
Peace.